We are here today with Ross Millar, the president of Ross Millar Group, which created and developed Canada's most marketed rodeo, the Rodeo Tour, in addition to many other well-known and respected equine events across the country. Ross, it is such a pleasure for us to be here today. Thank you for taking this time out of your busy day for the BeFit Ride Strong community.
Well, thank you. To you girls coming up here, it's appreciated.
Thank you. And now, while you and your organization are involved in so many equine events over the past 21 years that you have organized Ram Rodeo, it has grown to regularly attract crowds of up to 10,000 fans. What motivated you to create the tour in the first place, and how has it become so successful over the years?
Well, in the beginning, I come from a sports marketing background. I was in the ski business and doing different events, and I also was heavily involved at the retail level. So I did rodeo. I was not a professional rodeo cowboy. I was definitely an intermediate type semi-professional rodeo person. Then I would go to the events and I would see that the people loved the event, and I tried to take my marketing skills and things that I had learned and incorporate it into the world of rodeo, because as times have changed, rodeo is a great competition. It's extremely intense, but it's also to our main component as a form of entertainment. So we tried to just up the entertainment value.
Right. The Ram Rodeo Tour features many different exciting rodeo events, all of which entail a certain level of risk, as you just said. Surely there are some anxieties that arise among the 150 or so competitors at your rodeo shows. Can you tell us about some of the more common anxieties that you witness at these events?
Well, there's anxiety of every level. Whenever you're doing a live event, whether you're talking at it, whether you're competing at it, whether you're preparing the animals to get into the chute, there's a level of anxiety everywhere. And probably the most prevalent would be our competitors, because in the world of rodeo, every competitor pays to play. They all pay a entry fee. They have a huge commitment financially and time into it, and then they get one shot at the money. And so as a bull rider, to have 8 seconds of probably the most intense 8 seconds you could have, whether you're a barrel racer, you have 15 seconds basically the same thing with so many different variables, and that's what creates the anxiety level, and then you do see high anxiety.
So while these emotions experienced by your competitors are quite common, your shows are live and must go on. And how do you help calm the nerves of the riders and keep the pace of your live shows running smoothly?
Well, and it is important. In my case, I do announce many of the rodeos, and even if I'm not announcing, I always encourage the announcer has to keep, you have to keep a leadership and a control of it, and you have to have a certain flow to it. And the way that you talk about a competitor can change their anxiety levels as well. So it's our job to compliment the competitor and make them feel as good as they can and as positive as they can, so that they can have the best run for them and for the fans.
Right. Now, in relation to not only the many different events, these events have an element, of risk, and we understand that safety is extremely important to you. How do you encourage safety among your competitors?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And we know it's such a big part of our business, the whole risk factor. And we're constantly moving forward with it. We've got new concussion protocols. We're following many of the protocols they're using today in the sports such as the NFL football and so forth. We're going to incorporate them more strongly into our rodeo, and we're very proud. We think we're leading in the world of rodeo with concussion protocol, and our paramedics are going to schools over the winter to learn the latest in that type of environment. And it's just that's something that we have to constantly be aware of. And frankly, the responsibility of these cowboys, there's a lot of it in our hands as to having the right setup, having the right animals, having the proper conditions to eliminate as many factors as we can to make it as safe as possible.
It is clear from watching the competitors perform that they must have hours upon hours of practice before competing in the tour. How important is it for these athletes to be both physically and mentally fit in order to successfully compete and potentially come out on top at one of your competitive events?
Well, it's like any sport, or anything you do in life. There's hours and hours of preparation, and especially so much develops on muscle memory. And these people have to go out there, they put so many hours into it, and when they're on the spot and they're fighting the word anxiety and other features, they need the muscle memory to kick into place, which only comes from the hours of training your mind and your body to do the right movements. Then you can deal mentally with the rest of the stuff.
Right. The Be Fit Ride Strong Lifestyle's mission is to bring awareness to the importance of nutrition, fitness, and mindset, and also to support our fellow equestrians and sponsors. What is your impression of the Be Fit Ride Strong and the message that we are conveying?
You know, I think it's great, and I've been following you on social media. And yeah, when you phoned and asked us that you were going to come and do this, I was actually very excited about it because I watch what you're doing, and you're kind of taking this sport and I call it the equine industry to another level as far as professionalism and the way it's viewed. And you know, I come from as I say, the ski background. Back in the days, we had the crazy Canucks in Canada and so forth, and skiing was really very, very progressive. And from sports psychology to nutrition all the way down. And I listen to what you ladies are doing and I go, this is exactly what we did back in the ski world and had some great accomplishments. And in the equine and the rodeo world, it's coming that way very, very quickly, and it's becoming a big part. And it's no longer you're an old cowboy and you just got to be tough and sit on the back of the cowboy or the horse and get beat up. Now it's very technical, there's a lot on the line, and you have to have all components from your animal being healthy, yourself being healthy, your animal state of mind, and your state of mind. So there's more than just the common sit on the back of the horse and, as we say in our world, toughen up and cowboy up. And it's changing dramatically.
Right. You mentioned the Canucks. Well, the Toronto Leafs are doing pretty good this year, I just have to say. So,
hockey fan, are you?
Oh, big time, yes. And I'm just happy because I'm excited for these upcoming games.
Absolutely.
So far, Ross, we focused mostly on your important role as a leader at your various large-scale equine events. You're also a competitor. Can you tell us about the process of becoming a champion in the rodeo industry?
I mean, as far as the sport of competing, I compete, but I don't compete. My job is putting on events, producing it, and so forth. I do get up and compete. My wife competes, my son competes, so it's a family event. And it's my hardest part, frankly, is if I'm announcing a rodeo or putting on an event and I do have a chance to compete, that's my mental challenge, to get my mind focused from one and absolutely focused to the next level for that 8 seconds or the time that's allotted.
Right. Now, in addition to creating the Ram Rodeo Tour, Horsepower Live, you've also brought to life Ram Equestrian, the Can-Am All Breeds Equine Expo, the Case IH Ultimate Rodeo Tour, and the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair Invitational Rodeo. You are also involved in Roping, Ontario, and sit on several boards, including the board for the Hills of Headwaters Tourism Association. Needless to say, you are an incredibly busy man. Can you elaborate on that and how you've managed to balance all of this while also maintaining your own mental and physical health?
I mean, when you put it that way, it sounds like more than you think. You don't think about that on a daily basis. You get up in the morning, you have a job, you have a job list, you start your day, you have your list of accomplishments, and away you go. And I sit and listen to you put it that way. It does sound like a lot, but we've got a great staff. We've got a great we have a great support unit in every one of those. In the rodeo world, we have 20 staff that really look after the rodeo. In the Ram Equestrian, which is more the promotional side of it, we have people that look after that. The Can-Am show, for example, we have a total Can-Am team, and it keeps me busy now that you mention it. We do work, and I mean, the harder you work, the luckier you get, and that's the attitude we have around here. And we just get up in the morning and do what we enjoy doing, and that's what makes it work. Because, I mean, we have bad days, like everybody has bad days, but there's days I come home and I have to go, you know what? I'm doing what I love. I'm putting on live events. They happen to be in the horse industry, which I enjoy, but it could be any type of industry. As long as you enjoy what you do and you work hard at it, then the rewards should hopefully come along and kind of make sense.
Right. Well, we are certainly impressed with all that you do. The new website for all the schools look great. You are very good. Like you said, you have a very good team and sponsors that help keep everything going strong. Can you tell us a bit about what happens there?
Well, that's, if you catch me on any different week, I have something I'm excited about. And right now, the Build a Cowboy is the thing that's out front. We're trying very, very hard to develop young kids, and everything that you guys are talking about. Not just come and ride a bull, not just ride a horse, not just rope. Come and learn the sport, learn it as an athlete, learn what it takes. So we've developed Build a Cowboy. A fella, Alex Van Every, started it. He and Bill Tom, they started with the bull riding, and they developed a very very safe way of bull riding is an unusual term. I would say a system that eliminates much of the risk. And they've done a wonderful job with it. Now we've taken Build a Cowboy, we've got the bucking horses. So if you want to learn how to ride a bucking horse, we invested in a bunch of bucking horses, and we got ourselves bucking horses going on there. And now we're just about to move down to the roping Build a Cowboy. So as at every aspect, there's a spot for young people or old people to come out, understand, learn it from a grassroots up. You know, in the bull school last year, they had a gentleman that was a retired police officer from Toronto that came up, was 52 years old, and decided he wanted to try bull riding. And I mean, great fellow. And that was part of his bucket list. And he came out, he took the school, and we put him on mechanical bulls first, and we didn't put him on a live one until he felt totally comfortable at the beginning level. And he joined in with many young kids and young guys, and they all had a great weekend, and that's what it's about to me, teaching them safety and a proper way to do it, and encouraging it.
Right. So I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but everyone, Ross, on social media is excited and sharing all aspects of your 2018 Can-Am. This event just gets bigger and bigger every year. You keep it fresh, and it is such a valuable asset to the equestrian community for both vendors and riders. It brings Western and English together for 16 years now. What are the highlights for this year, 2018 Can-Am?
Well, we're excited. I mean, the one thing I am most proud about with Can-Am is it's an all-breed show. So anybody has anything to do with an interest in a horse, it's a trade show for horse lovers and horse owners. And it's a one time a year that brings all the different disciplines together. And we've got English, Hyde Moffat, Cindy Ishoy doing dressage. We've got Western. We've got, well, the big thing right now, Dan James is coming from Double Dan from Australia. He's doing the Double Dan horsemanship. And you're going to be at Can-Am, I think, aren't you?
Yes, we are. We'll have a booth there, actually.
You have to meet Dan James, and we got to get you an interview with him.
That'd be great.
I think you guys would have a great time with him, but he's such a great horseman and showman. And then the big buzz right now is the television show Heartland, which has done very well over the last 11 years. For I think one of the first times we got the 4 main characters coming.
Oh, wow.
So Amber Marshall and Alicia and, Georgie on the television show, and Grandpa's even coming. And of course Graham, which is Ty on the show, and they're all coming, and they're going to do a meet and greet and an afternoon show that we're putting on. And that type of stuff just makes it fun, it makes it exciting, and that's what keeps it fresh.
Right. Now finally, Ross, do you have any advice to those aspiring equestrians out there who are watching, or anything else that you would like to share with our viewers while we're here today?
I mean, just life in general. Whether I happen to put horse shows on. For someone, it could be the Kurt Browning figure skating show. It's entertainment, and my job is, no matter what they're doing, just have fun at it. If you're going to spend the time in life to do something, put the effort in and do it right. I mean, we learned that when we were kids. And most importantly, try to do something you do enjoy. And the harder you do work at it, probably the luckier you're going to get with your results.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time here today, Ross. It has truly been an honor to speak with you, and we look forward to the many events coming up this year in 2018, and we would like to take this time to wish you and your competitors the best of luck in this Ram Rodeo Tour season.
Thank you very much.